In some areas of East Ayrshire, over half the number of children starting nursery or school do not have the language and communication skills expected for their age. Without these skills, children can struggle to learn to read and to write. Without the right support for their language and communication, children can struggle to do things like ask for help and to form friendships. We also know that poor language and communication skills at early stages can have a lasting effect on mental health and affect future employment chances. We know a supportive environment and the right caregiver responses are two of the most important factors to support children's language and communication development. We believe that it is really important that all children have access to a communication-friendly environment in early years, in primary, in secondary and in specialist provisions to allow them to reach their full potential. And this is why we have developed the East Ayrshire Communication Friendly Accreditation Programme.
I think we're also hugely aware that communication is the absolute bedrock of all future learning and indeed all future relationships that we have with our young people. So I really do think it's so important that our centres and schools really get behind the programme, both as an acknowledgement of the effective practice that already exists, but also showing that commitment to knowing that there's further development we can all undertake to make our schools and centres the absolutely best communication friendly environments they absolutely can be.
There are 5 foundations in the East Ayrshire Communication Friendly Environment Accreditation Programme. The first of these is the learning environment. Foundation 1 is a positive learning environment that best supports all children's language and communication needs. This includes thinking about things such as the use of space, how to ensure noise is managed as best as possible, and thinking about aspects such as labelling and also ensuring we have appropriate areas for the children to play in.
There's a lot of benefits to this programme. We've changed the learning environment so that it makes transitions for all children a lot easier, especially infant children. If they're moving around the school, the symbols are the same no matter where they are, so that's that sense of I know what that means, whether they're in primary 1 classroom or the primary 7 classroom.
The symbols are there so that the wee ones, like the P1s and P2s, know where they're going so they don't really get lost in the school.
Because it's the same symbols all around the school, no matter where the toilets are, it's the same sign.
The second foundation is supportive learning approaches. This foundation focuses on learning approaches to best support all children's speech, language and communication. This may include targeted support for children who require that help, and also children having the opportunity, where appropriate, to be involved in small group time. As part of supportive learning, some children may also take part in things such as early talk boost.
Caution, good boy. Caution. What does caution rhyme with? Think of a rhyme. Goshen, good boy. Any other rhyming words? Emily? Lotion. Good girl. Can you think of any other rhyming words? Rory?
Potion, lotion, lotion.
That was 3 good. Potion, lotion, lotion.
The changes the staff have made within the centre have been to promote effective communication throughout the full centre. The staff have made lots of changes to the way they communicate with the children within the centre, driven by our effective management team. We've strived towards being a communication friendly environment, and that's something that we've all been really keen on being part of. The benefits that we're seeing already from the way we're communicating with children, and the data's there to prove it. For book bug, are you ready? Oh, let's give it a shake. Let's sing. I wonder what's in my bag today. Bag today, bag today. I wonder what's in my bag today. Let's have a look and see. Go for it, Elise.
I like singing Storyland.
Humpty Dumpty sat on a wall. Humpty Dumpty had a great fall.
That's big.
That is big. How does it feel?
That bit's not sticky.
Oh, that's
That's lucky it's not sticky.
His communication has improved greatly, because when Ben started he was just 3 and quite impatient, and he was a good speaker, but they've definitely helped with Storyland and just the homework that they give out. He loves all that, and that's really helped with his speaking and the way he presents himself and everything.
Foundation 3 is Adult Interaction Styles. The way in which adults communicate with children and what they say can have a significant impact on children's communication development. As part of communication-friendly environments, it is essential that all adults are interacting with children in both a child-led and appropriate way. This includes using strategies such as being face-to-face with the child and getting down to their level, waiting and giving the child time to talk, and ensuring appropriate use of questions when interacting with the children.
I have a daughter of 5 who's just started to school. I was really concerned for my daughter starting school. She's going to struggle for being quiet, but I'm really relieved after the parents' night, just seeing how much she's come on, because obviously we had been a wee chatterbox that's allowed her confidence to come, because they encourage the conversations with children, so you can see them working away and listening to each other, and children pick up off other children, I think, so when they speak and just share their wee interest, and they're getting listened to, and they know when to take turns to speak, so it's helping their listening skills rather than teaching them just to be quiet.
This game helps us practice listening well. Listening helps us know what we need to do and talk with our friends.
Foundation 4 is Nurturing Communication. This has a focus on creating opportunities and collaboration with professionals and families to ensure we nurture and best support children's communication development. As part of this foundation, we have things like our communication board, and also it is crucial we have an active communication champion who is working to support the children and their families.
Right, boys and girls, who can tell me what we're sitting in just now? What do we call it in our class code?
The safety circle.
We call it the safety circle, should we do? Why do we use the safety circle, Cara?
So we can check if everyone's here.
We can check if everyone's here, and we do little check-ins after playtime, sure we do?
Yeah.
Let me see everyone's thumbs. How was your playtime?
We know that 2 of the most important things for children to be happy and successful in life are safety and relationships, and communication-friendly environments really help to foster that sense of safety and developing relationships by prioritising high-quality interactions between the adults and the children, and also providing a very supportive environment for children to develop their communication skills. East Ayrshire adopts a relationship-based approach to supporting children and young people when it comes to their social and emotional development and their behaviour. I think communication-friendly approaches really ties in nicely to that, because it focuses first and foremost on the quality of the interactions between the adults and the children and young people.
That's very kind, you're giving her some salad. Do you like to eat salad? Do you like salad? Do you like salad? No. Peaches like salad.
One of the main things we implemented within our centre at roughly the same time as looking at the language and communication accreditation was having pets within the centre. And this has actually went hand in hand with the language and communication. What we do is we have guinea pigs, we have hamsters, we have a bearded dragon, a tortoise, rabbits, and children come along in key worker groups and visit the animals within my office, so the animals are all safe, and the communication you get from the kids actually coming in to visit the animals is amazing. Children who are maybe very quiet on the floor suddenly open up and they're talking about pets they have at home or pets they would like to have. They look at the reference books and want to learn more about how to care for Bob the bearded dragon or how to care for the guinea pigs, what's best for them. And it's been really good for myself if I'm
doing the animals with the children, I'm getting to know each little individual, because we are a large centre, so it's been a great way for me to get to know the children.
Good morning, chicks. Good morning.
And one of the things that myself and the management team always do, we're always at the door. When children and families come in or go home, we're always there to welcome them, to deal with anything they want to chat about at the door. And on a Thursday, one of the highlights of the week is bringing Daisy the dog in. Now, Daisy's my pet from home, and she comes every Thursday, and just you can hear the excitement as they come up the path when they know it's a Daisy day. And it's built up a good relationship with the children and the parents, because they always stop and have a wee chat, talk to Daisy, and that has been very beneficial.
Yes.
Oh!
What did she do?
I think she sneezed or something.
I think she did. She did sneeze.
Sometimes my cat sneezes.
So communication-friendly environments really helps us to support some of the children and young people out in our community who have perhaps experienced trauma in their life, and sometimes those families also might have found it really difficult to engage in our traditional approaches to intervention and supports, and at the moment they wouldn't actually be able to receive direct intervention from speech and language therapists. By adopting a communication-friendly environment across our schools and our early years centres, what we're doing is wrapping the care around about our children and young people and bringing it as close to them as possible.
My wee girl Georgie is in primary 3, and I've found that this year it's been really good with communication. We're a forces family, so her dad's away with the army, and it does tend to play on her a little bit. She's quite anxious, so what I like is that with the teachers that she has, I can say to them, you know, her dad's going away, he's not going to be home for this length of time, and they then do little check-ins with her to encourage her to talk. Is there something worrying her? Is she worried about where he is? And it's just, I just like that there's that communication for her, because if it's worrying her, she might not want to talk to me. She's able to open up at school, and in her class they've got a worry monster, I think it's called Rainbow, and if they're worried about anything they get to write it down, put it into Rainbow, and her teacher has a look at them, and then she knows what their little worries are, and she could talk to them and stuff, which is really good. And it just encourages them to open up and not keep it all bottled inside, which could end up being detrimental to the child. They also do check-ins every morning. They have, you know, they can do a hug, a high five, a handshake, and I think the teachers got to remember all these different handshakes, but I know that Georgie prefers having a hug. And after lunch and playtime as well, they say, how was your playtime, how was your lunch? And obviously if there's been a wee fallout with friends, instead of it playing on their minds, they're encouraged to talk about it, which is really, really good. The school have an open door policy that we could come in, talk to the teachers about any concerns we have, which then takes it to the child. And there's just this open line of communication that's running throughout the whole school, from the head teacher to the teachers to classroom assistants to the child, which is great. It's been really, really good, and it makes you feel better knowing that it's not just at home, you know, that you can chat to your child, that they're getting it in school as well.
The fifth foundation relates to continuing professional development and staff training to enable all education staff to meet the speech, language and communication needs of all children and young people in their care.
We have been working towards the East Ayrshire Communication Friendly programme, and what has become evident is the power of the collective. We have developed very positive relationships between the school, the community and the speech and language therapy team. Overall, I feel this initiative has improved the attainment, the mental health and life prospects for all in our school.
I would highly recommend the communication friendly journey for anyone who's considering it. It has transformed our centre and has helped us develop partnerships which I think will be there for life now with the educational psychology team and the speech and language team, and very much brought the team together as one and helped us to deliver the best we can for the children and families. And really, that's what we're here for.
I'm absolutely delighted that we are launching the East Ayrshire Communication Friendly Environments programme. If you boil all this down, this isn't an add-on programme or a rewards scheme or an incentive. This is actually a recognition of what we do here in East Ayrshire. Great communication helps us establish those great relationships both early with our youngest learners and right across our school estate. I think there are huge benefits for schools and early years centres to get on board with the programme, and that is really around about the impact that that's going to have on our learners now and indeed in the future as they go into their adult lives.
We're really excited about the future for communication friendly environments in East Ayrshire, and we look forward to all of our children and young people experiencing positive communication environments for the years to come.
It's now a case of let's see that embedded in our schools and early years centres, make this work, because at the end of the day the only people that are going to benefit are ourselves and our young people, so let's do it.